Welcome back to the Double Dose. I'm Dr. Raj.
And I'm Dr. Emily.
And on today's episode, we're going to talk about all things friendship.
I love this topic.
Me too. Obviously, we are the best of friends. And I think it's really important to talk about, obviously, friendship being one of those things that grows, that changes, that evolves with us as we grow. So in today's episode, that's what we're going to do.
It's actually a great topic because it's something I feel like I talked, when I say the girls, by the way, I mean our girls at home.
Yeah.
Not so much Belle because she's not quite 2 yet, but the older girls.
Yeah.
It's something we talk about a lot. And I don't know if I've got this right. And apologies, any offence caused here. I don't mean to make this into a boy-girl thing. But I do feel like sometimes friendships can be a bit more difficult for girls, particularly in like teenage years. So it's a lot of talk we have at home about, okay, talk to me about this. How do you think you're going to manage that situation? Okay, what did you do there? Could you have done that any better? Because it's like a big thing.
Yeah.
I feel like with girls, sometimes there can be a lot of like, sometimes talking behind backs, or some of that can kind of come out a little bit. And it's difficult to navigate that as a teen.
It starts when you're young as well. Like I went to an all-girls school. So, I learnt pretty fast that, girls can be quite mean. I mean, teenage in general can be, but I think girls can be quite mean. And sometimes in those heightened environments where you are like all girls together, for example, there's a lot of, cliques building, or, you've got to be powerful with a strong voice, to be cool, or you've got to dress a certain way or be a certain way. And I think you do play into that. Like I remember as a teen or like preteen, really thinking about which group I wanted to be in, as in like friendship groups, and like to be in that group I've got to be a certain way. So even if my inert energy is to be loud, people I'm comfortable with, but otherwise I'm quite happy introverted, I would play up to being louder or being more funny, or like being like a bit more desirable to that group. Like, oh, she's funny, oh, she's cool, oh, she can be in the group, kind of thing.
Were you in the popular group at school?
Yeah, but only because because I made that kind of happen. Like I remember physically thinking, I don't want to be bullied. I'd already come from like a background which wasn't in my head at the time the coolest, because I came from a normal primary school. Like, my parents had to really work hard to get me into a grammar school for selective testing. I wasn't at like a private independent school, pre-prep or anything like that. So for me to fit in, I felt like it had to be more about my personality, and like how the louder you are. And when you're a teenager, being loud and being giggly and being in that group and being that girl makes, especially in a girls' school, if anyone's been to a girls' school, you're probably going to relate to this, because it is that kind of vibe. And if you're more passive and chilled, or a bit more of a tomboy, you either just kind of sit in the no man's land. Yeah, the no man's land.
I'm all of the above, passive, chilled, and I was definitely a tomboy.
Or you get bullied. And I think the thing is, I just didn't want to be in that space, so I kind of played up to it. And actually, I find that a lot of secondary school, like you mentioned that now you're talking to the girls about that. My mum would speak to me about that a lot, because I have 2 older sisters, and it would be the whole vibe about, you've just got to be nice to everybody, you've got to be kind to everybody. But I think in those years, kindness and being nice is not at the forefront of your mind.
Yeah.
You're just trying to be part of something, I think.
I think I just really fell on my feet with a really lovely group of friends. And
that's so nice.
Yeah, I was really, because I think so much of secondary school is actually luck, and like, do you happen to hang out with people who are maybe a bad influence over you, and then you can end up maybe going down
the
that
wrong
route
way,
and getting into trouble. I just had a really lovely group of friends, and some of them were people that I'd gone to primary school with, and some were people that I'd met. And I had one friend in particular at secondary school who really just stuck up for me. She was someone I met at secondary school, and I was quite shy and quite quiet, quite a tomboy. I had acne, I had braces. I think I was probably a sitting duck to get bullied, if I'm honest, because I went to a big comprehensive school. But I had this friend who just was awesome, and she just we're still friends this day, and she always stuck up for me, and you wouldn't mess with her. Okay, so everyone was always like, and I say this to her now, like, I think she's the reason why I never got bullied, because she just always had my back. And yeah, she's a lawyer now, unsurprisingly, because she's like
fighting those cases.
Fierce. You don't mess with her. She's brilliant, and I honestly think that's why that's why I didn't get bullied.
And I think, interestingly, I don't think we realise that when you're younger, but actually you don't need 17, 18 friends. You need the one or two that are going to have your back, that are going to let you be your most authentic self, you know. And I think as I navigate my way through secondary school, and as I got to like 16, 17, 18, so like when you get to like sixth form, I definitely came into myself a bit more. So I didn't really care about playing up to be in a group, or, you know, I had my one or two friends, getting ready for obviously getting into medical school, and I was focusing more on the academia than I was on being on the friendships.
Yeah.
But I think when you're younger and you're just trying to navigate that whole space, it is easy to fall into those traps. So it's nice that you had a friend that kind of guided you through that. I had a few, but to be honest, I think it was more upper sixth form where I was like, actually, I'm just going to be me. And if I'm not in the popular group, then I'm not I want to get to med school. I want to get to university, and I can't be bothered with it. But you do sometimes get sucked along, right?
I was never in the popular group. I was fine with that. I actually didn't mind. I feel like there's pressure when you're in the popular group that you've got to be a certain way.
Yeah.
See, whereas that wasn't the case for me. I played a lot of sport. In fact, a lot of my friends, especially at secondary school, were boys. Always friends, like never anything more than that. And I don't know if it's because I've got 4 brothers that I just got along with boys quite well. I found them quite sort of chilled. If boys have an argument, right, they just sort of like hash it out.
Yeah.
And then it's
move
done
on.
and they move on.
Yeah. And girls, it just
There's
festers.
no backstabbing really with boys. I mean, this is massive generalisation, okay, guys, so apologies for that. But there wasn't the backstabbing. Like, even sometimes boys have a bit of, you know, fisticuffs, but then they kind of just move on. And I kind of always quite liked that. I had like my girl mates as well, obviously were like my closest friends. But yeah, I'm definitely not someone, I'm not keen for drama. I'm not keen for, like, I don't know. I just like everyone to be nice and just get, that sounds really actually.
Yeah, because unfortunately, Emily, the world isn't that way. But I do think that I've known you for a couple of years now. And I think that, like, genuinely,
sorry. I think it's like 4.
Double a couple. But basically, I think that since when I first met you, I was like, there's no way she's that nice. Like, there's just no way. I think that was just
I'm not always nice.
No, you're not always nice, but you are. But generally, you are a lovely girl. And actually, you're not here for the drama. You are somebody who wants the best for everybody. You are kind. And you bring that nice energy, I think. And that's just me telling the absolute truth about you. And I think that for me, because I've seen so much of how girls can be, like being in a girls' school, obviously you were in a mixed school, you know, growing into that. And I feel like I have had my fair few toxic friendships along the way.
Have you? Like at school or as an adult?
School, med school, even as an adult, I'd say. Like, you know, and I think the way I navigate those situations now is very different to how I would at school. It's more confrontation. You're younger, you know, you're more likely to get into those sort of, like, you know, rows or whatever it might be, or, you know, siding with certain groups. I think in med school it was just more of a, you might distance yourself, or you might then end up not being part of the clique and you might be more isolated. And that's when I found one of my best friends, because I just felt like I walked away from that drama. I ended up with a friend that is my friend for life. We're like twins. We hang out all the time. I love her. And we've been friends. And that was a great friendship that I found. And I think as an adult, it was confusing friendships. Like, you'd have a friend that you thought was your friend, and then they'd do something that is really weird. And you're like, oh, that's not really aligned with my values. And I think that was more of me being like, I don't need to make any drama about this. I'm just going to move myself away from this situation. I have a boundary in place. I don't really want to navigate this friendship any longer, and just, you know, slowly, without drama, moving away from it. And realizing that you can do that, and it's okay to have a boundary and to be like, this isn't serving me anymore. And I just don't really feel like we align in the same way. So it's interesting to me how how one might manage those toxic friendships or difficult, challenging friendships as you grow older.
Something I've said to the girls.
Yeah,
I keep saying the girls.
Your girls.
One of them's not even a child anymore. That's the other thing. I'm just going to call them the girls.
Okay? I love that.
Is that, you know, a friendship as a whole, because obviously everybody can have a bad day, including friends. A friendship as a whole should be a positive on your life. So it should be a person who bigs you up, makes you feel good about yourself. You're not, there's no competition between the two of you. So like you have a win or you achieve something, they're celebrating for you. There's no backhanded comments. There's no like making you feel bad about yourself. None of that. Like, a friend should celebrate you and you should do the same for them. And that's what I say to them, because I think sometimes there can be this, you can't explain what it is, but you just notice comments or you come away from it and you think, I actually don't feel better now I've seen that person. I feel worse. And those things can like creep up on you quite slowly, I think. So that's what I always say to them. You should come away from seeing a friend feeling better than you went going there. You know, they should be a positive influence on your life. And that is not including, obviously, everyone can have a bad day. and but I think
Yeah, of course. Or be going through something, and that's,
Yeah.
the reason why they might have had a little not been as present. But I think you're completely right. I think what I've realised along the way is that you don't have to, if you feel that a friendship isn't serving you in that way, like you've mentioned with, being there for you, cheering you on, being a support system, and you don't feel positive after you've had a chat or a conversation or spent time with them, or you are getting backhanded comments or some negative energy that you just can't quite put your finger on, or it makes you feel a certain kind of way, then I think you're well within your rights to be like, actually, this doesn't serve me. I'm not. This is not adding any value to my life or happiness to my life. It's actually making me feel more drained.
and just step away.
Yeah, I feel judged, or I'm double guessing this friendship. If any of that's keeping up in your mind, I think you've got to question whether that's actually a friendship.
'Cause how would you define like a toxic friendship? Because I looked this up because I knew we were going
Yeah.
to talk about toxic friendships,
Yeah.
and I thought, I wonder what a toxic friendship actually is. Like what what
So
would it
to
mean
me,
to you?
I haven't looked at the definition, but to me, I think a
There
toxic.
isn't really a definition, by the way. I sort of was just looking up like
Yeah, it's interesting. I think a toxic friendship is like where you define it as you define that person as a friend. So obviously you're seeing them, they're in your life, they're involved maybe in your personal life, maybe your professional life, but you are beyond just work. Like if it's a colleague, you're beyond just working hours. You see them outside. You might share things with them, whether you've been successful in something, whether you're hurting about something, challenges. You share your life with them, achievements. And I think the toxic part of it is when, like just as you said earlier, there's either underlying conflict or there's some judgment being passed. And it's okay to judge somebody in the sense that like you have an opinion or a perspective, and then you
in a
share
caring,
that in a
like,
caring
coming from
manner.
a caring place.
So you
yeah.
say, look, have you seen this way? Have you looked at it this way? Or have you seen it from this point of view? But to pass judgment on somebody, or to see that your friend is going through something and to say one thing to them, and this is a big one, but then behind their back, you're talking about them in a way that you wouldn't say to their face. I think that's a big one. For me as friendship, that trust has to be there, that clarity has to be there. And honestly, Emily, you're my friend of 4 years. I would say to you, anything that I would say to somebody else, if I were to talk about you to anybody, if I was to say, to talk to one of our mutual friends about, oh, Emily did X, Y, Z, whatever it is, I must feel comfortable in that exact tone, in that exact way, to say that in front of your face. And if I don't feel comfortable saying that or doing that, something's not right about that friendship. And that's how, after all these years being at a girls' school, raising a girl myself, having 2 sisters, having some amazing friends, I think I've had to learn a lot. Maybe also put my hands up and say, maybe I was a toxic friend to somebody once upon a time, and
Yeah, but we've all been
but to
in
say,
different places in our lives.
but to say that I've also learned from that and realised that actually what I want in life right now is to only have connections and relationships where there is value being added. Otherwise, it's a little bit of a waste of our living life to be sharing moments with people that are not authentic.
See, I feel sometimes, I don't know if you ever feel like this, I actually feel guilty as a friend because obviously you pick up friends throughout your life, and I've got some lovely friends who I've had for years, and friends who, because obviously I grew up in the West Country, so I've got friends there. My one friend in particular I was saying about that I went to school with, and we don't get to see each other all the time because we're far apart, but when life just like takes you, you're busy and everything, and I think I should stay in touch with people more than I do, and then I feel really bad about that, and they're actually in my thoughts a lot. Like I always think of people that I don't see all the time, but I should actually just get my phone.
Yeah, we're really bad at that.
I'm really bad on my phone, and I actually will lie. This is ridiculous. I will lie in bed at night and think, oh my God, I didn't reply to that person. I haven't seen that message. I need to do that. I need to speak to them. I haven't done it. And then in the morning comes somehow, and I'm distracted to go off and do something else. And I think that's my toxic trait, honestly, is that I'm so bad with my phone that I should be more responsible in keeping up my friendships. I really should. And I appreciate that about myself.
I think like we all go through that. Like my core friendships are people that, I've met. One of them's from nursery. From
when you were at nursery.
When we were both 2 years old, 3 years old. So that's one of my best friends. And then I've got one from med school. I've got one from school. So I've got one like along the way. I don't have many friends. I would count my best friends on one hand, and I'm happy to do that. I don't have like tons of friendships. People that I trust in my life, literally. And those people are the ones that suffer the most, I think, because they become family, and you end up like, thinking, oh, that can wait. And I know that I do that. And just like you said, may not reply to their messages, may not pick up the phone as much as I should. But they're the friendships as well that they know, and you shouldn't take this for granted because they know how much I love them and how, you know, the relationship and the love is there, and we pick up where we left off every time we get in touch and speak. But I think definitely, yeah, we all could make more effort in doing those things. But I think what's lovely is to have friendships like that, which, you know, they're your people. Like
You
whatever.
feel immediately at home when you see
Home.
them. That's the thing.
Yeah.
You go back to like, do you ever find like you go
Yeah.
back to like being you
Pre-everything.
when you were,
Yeah.
when you
Yeah.
first became friends? Like if
Yeah.
you meet up with a friend from school, you just get all giggly and you
Go
start
back to
talking
me.
about like all the stories of
Yeah.
school. Oh, I love it.
When my bestie comes to stay, like my husband will say to me often, last time she came to stay, he got us both a drink and he was like, right, good night. Because he was like, I'll leave you guys to it.
That's exactly what.
Because he
Pete does.
just knows that we're going to sit there, we're going to have
just
some
laugh.
like reminisce about God knows what, you know, talk at a million miles per hour at each other, talk over each other, trying to catch up, make all the memory, like everything. But I think it's the most wonderful, beautiful thing to have that. And even though friendships are difficult to navigate and they're challenging, and in your lifetime, you will have some friendships that, you know, sometimes don't quite make, you know, they break down, or some continue, or new ones that evolve. I just think that having that friend next to you that you connect with and you can be vulnerable with is one of the biggest privileges of life.
I
Feel really
totally
lucky
agree.
that I have some of those people in my life.
I agree with you though. I probably would have, probably less than one hand. A couple from med school who I still keep in touch with. Love them. But like I said, it takes you back to that time when I was young and fun.
Young and fun. So what do you
old
think about
and
friendships
boring.
then? So do you think that with friendships, what can make a friendship last? Because I think this is always a really good one. Because we're talking about how some of our friends go back to like when we were, you know, younger, school, with me, nursery. Like what makes a friendship last?
I think it's that genuine bond. Some people you just bond with them.
Click with them.
And I can't explain what it is or why that happens with certain people, but with certain people it just does. You get each other, you have a laugh. I don't know. There's something about some people you click. And that's it for life. And it's like we said, you don't have to talk to those people.
No, every day. Yeah.
You know, and I sometimes will go a long time without speaking to some of my friends. And then when we reconnect, I actually feel annoyed with myself. When we reconnect, I'm like,
why did I do that earlier?
I've missed you so much. And, you know, you have like such fun times. And I don't know about you, but a lot of my friends now are mums as well.
Yeah.
Like I had Millie quite a lot younger than most of my friends, but they're now all at the stage that I was at, maybe like even 10 years ago. Some of them have got newborns or 2 or 3 year olds. And it's lovely. Like we're all entering that next kind of phase of our lives. But
I think you're right. I think trust as well, like beginning to trust each other, understanding through different seasons of someone's life. So I think some of my best friends and vice versa, we've had to understand when each other are going through something. So I think you can't easily become offended or upset if someone's maybe not in touch. I think for me, I have a friend that was going through a difficult time recently, and I remember just thinking, God, I miss her. But at the same time, there was a lot of understanding for what she may be going through, you know. So I think that's nice to have that through the different seasons, to understand that people change and they might have some, you know, if they've got a newborn, for example, and you're in the trenches with that, just being understanding. So I think that's quite nice to have friendships that can last because you're able to evolve with each other, you know.
Totally agree. But also, do you know what the funny thing is as well? I don't know if you find this. I think I'm too old and tired to make new friends. Is that really bad?
God, I love this topic. I have to say about this, I'm definitely too old and tired to make new friends.
I miss you.
But so I remember, okay, can we talk about our friendship, for example? So I've got to tell the story. So
Oh yeah, how we
obviously,
met is
yeah.
actually quite funny.
So my mother-in-law met you, and she calls me up and she says to me, oh my God, Raj, I've met this lovely girl, Emily. You are going to love her. At this point, I think I just had it was before I'd given birth. Anyway, at this point, life was busy, babies, children, all of it, working, and I just remember thinking, I didn't even see my normal friends, never mind a new one, right? So I was just thinking, okay, mum. I call my mother-in-law mum. So I was like, okay, mum, yeah, sure. She's like, no, honestly, Raj, honestly, you're going to love her. Now, we don't really normally recommend friends to each other, my mother-in-law and I. We're quite similar in terms of, like, we've got our friendship groups. We're quite happy in them. So I did think it was a bit odd when she called me up and specifically called me.
She gave me your number. She said to me.
She called me and was like, I need to tell you. And I think it was like early in the morning. And I was like, Mum, are you okay? And she was like,
we went on a trip, right? We went on a trip.
Yeah.
With
She called me from the
friends.
trip. She called me from the trip,
Yeah.
which is not like her. So she calls me from the trip to say, I can't contain myself. You've got to meet this girl.
Oh, I love her.
And I was like, in one side I was thinking, I don't know, do I want to meet her? The other side I was thinking,
I'm not taking that personally. No.
yeah, like don't take, but just about the tired and the friendships. I'm sticking a hole.
Can't be bothered with this girl.
And the other side was like, well, she must be amazing because there's no way my mother-in-law would say this. So anyway, on that first meeting when we met, I was like, oh, I don't think we stopped talking.
Oh, we
You
went for
came
dinner.
Did you? No, you came home, didn't you?
No,
For
no,
lunch?
no. We went for dinner. Do you remember? It was.
Oh, we went for dinner.
It was the one. It was the
Them on.
occasion where your lovely father-in-law had with me. Was because his
eyeballs. Oh my god. Anyway, yeah. So I remember that dinner.
That's the dinner.
And you rocked up, and I remember thinking the first thought I had was, "Wow, she is just beautiful." I remember when you walked in, and I was like, "Oh my god, she's just stunning." Because I'm looking at you, and then you came and sat down. And then we started talking, and I honestly don't think we took a breath. I do not think we took a moment. And I walked away, and my mother-in-law said, "I told you." And I said, "You're completely right. Like, I just click with her." This is what I mean about new friendships. So although I'm too old and tired for new friendships, I'm also not a fool. At that moment, I was like, this girl's going to be my friend for life. I can just feel the energy. You know, you were lovely, you're amazing. And then we just gravitated towards it. We just kept meeting, you know, like hanging out, laughing about, I don't know what we were laughing about.
No, stupid stuff.
And
you know,
Pete and Sandra look at us and go, "Oh, here they go again.
Off they go.
Yeah, here they go again." Yeah. Oh God.
You know, I've still got you saved in my phone as Dr. Raj Arora.
What?
That was what your
is that what
mum-in-law saved you in my phone as Dr. Raj Arora. So
you got set up.
Very professional. When you messaged me, I'm like, oh, it's Dr. Raj Arora.
It was like a love marriage, wasn't it? So
it was. We basically were set up.
So I feel like new friendships do have a space, but they happen few and far between. Like, I don't think I'd put that much energy into every person I'm introduced to unless I feel there's a natural click, because with you it's easy. Like, I don't have to try it, and that's a really good example of a new friendship that I think is going to be hopefully everlasting. Question though, do you think that new friendships can ever be as strong as an older friendship?
I do, because I think the old friendships are special and precious because you share experiences with them that you will never share with anybody else that you meet in the future.
Yeah.
And that will always be the case. But I think a new friendship you make because that person is in your life. You know, maybe you're having similar experiences at that time.
Yeah.
It might be a mum friend. So you've got kids of the same age or kids at the same school. You've got that shared bonded experience that maybe you don't have
with an older
friend. So I think they've got their place in different ways. Like I just said earlier, I feel like I should put more time into all of my friendships, including my old friendships.
Yeah.
And that's why I think I'm quite careful about taking on new friends, because I think actually I feel already guilty that I don't.
That's exactly
I'm so focused on the kids all the time, which I love, and they're my joy in my life. But then I think to myself, actually, you know, one day they're gonna leave home. One day they're gonna leave home, and then I need to make sure that I have kept up those friendships and relationships for me as well. So I do think I need to prioritise myself in that way and prioritise my friendships more. It's my resolution and I need to do it.
I think older friendships have a special place. They enrich you because like you said, they know the pre-mum, the pre-marital, the pre-version of you. So maybe the most free version of you.
Yeah.
And then your new friends. Yeah. And then and they've seen you evolve through all of that, right? Yeah. And then your new friends know the new version of you.
Yeah.
But then they get like, I've learned so much about you. Like when we're filming podcast episodes, I'm like, oh my God, is that what you used to do, Emily?
Not all of it good, can I just
Not
say?
all of it good, yeah. And I'm like, and you probably learning things like me, like, whoa, Raj. But I think it's so nice because we've met at this season of our lives, but it doesn't mean that we can't learn like backwards, if you know.
Yeah.
Which is so lovely.
I actually love hearing new things about you. It's actually great.
What does she
Some of the stories, which you guys can hear about as we go through the episode.
Talk about, baby girl?
What are you like with mum friends? Like, okay, when you're doing like school drop off.
Sorry.
Do you? Oh, I need to hear this. Do you like gossip at the gate?
I can't.
Do you disappear and not talk to anyone? I just want to know.
What do you think?
What
do you think I'm like?
Schools, okay. So I don't get to see Raj on the.
Okay, I don't get to see you on the school drop off either. Oh God, if anyone's watching this in the school drop off, I just want to cringe right now.
You can be.
I'm just going to be really honest though, because I think it's really important. Look, I am that mum that I'm overwhelmed most of the time. I do. By the way, I've made some incredible friends, probably like 2 mum friends that they're my new friends, mum friends. I love them. I don't shout them out. They know who I'm talking about, but they are hilarious, and I love them because I get them, and they're definitely more integrated into the mum life than I am. But they just know what I'm like, and by that I mean that I can't stand a drop off.
I knew
And
this was going to
talking
be
to
you.
people,
I
because
knew it. I should have predicted it.
I feel like it's really horrible, because I'm that mum where like somebody will meet Sanj, my husband, and they'll be like, oh, we met your husband yesterday. He's so lovely. And it's almost like saying, and you're not. Because I'm just like, get the job done, pick them up.
Do you
Don't
talk
talk
to anyone?
Babe, most days I will arrive slightly late if I can, so that everyone's kind of dispersed out the playground, grab my child and run. If he ever says to me, Mummy, can we go in the playground? I'm like, oh my God. Obviously, I'm like, yeah, please go and play. But then I have to stand around and actually talk to people. I'm like, I don't want to talk to anyone. I have nothing to say. I don't know what I'm saying. I probably look really miserable. I'm sorry to anyone at the drop off or pick up who sees me with my miserable face. I don't mean to. I'm just thinking about the next thing or whatever I'm doing. And also, it sounds awful, but I just don't have the energy. Like, I know you're the opposite. I know you talk
Right.
to everyone. I know they're all like, Emily's so lovely and smiley, but I just
Actually,
struggle.
no.
Oh, what? Revelation.
I'm about to shock you right now. No, so I love all them. Don't forget as well, because Millie's 12.
Yeah, true. You've had quite a few years
So
of it.
I've had, well, since she's been at nursery, like let's round it to 10 years of like mum
Yeah.
communications. I'm selective with my mum friends, but I've got some lovely mum friends. A bit like my other friends, I probably don't put as much into the relationship as I should, but it's just busy. It's just being busy, and they're
That's
busy
what I mean.
as well.
You're busy. And then also, I don't know, it's for me, sometimes the conversation gets to a point where I'm just like, I don't know if I can relate to this, like.
You're going full honest mode today.
No, like genuinely, like yeah.
So what I never have time at the school gate, because so there will be there's a lovely group of mums that always kind of cluster at the front and they have a nice chat, and I always walk past and I think, I kind of wish I was that mum, because I'm always rushing to wherever I'm going to next. So it's not because I don't want to stand and chat to them, and I have to say we're very, very lucky. The kids, the primary school, well, Millie's at secondary school now, but it's such a lovely school. All the mums are really nice. I think I haven't probably integrated into the mums as much as I think
that's exactly how I feel. So I feel like the mums are lovely. The mums that I have integrated into, I think we've gravitated towards each other because they kind of get my humour. So they're kind of like, oh, here's she, oh, Raj, right, you're like a dash of lightning. Oh, yes, oh, you're here, are you? Okay, good, great, And I'm the one that's like running around, like trying to get everything done.
I'm always the one.
And also as a GP and a doctor, like, you are long clinics and stuff. So you're not really being able to get to pick up really early or like have that conversation at the gate. So I think by default, like if anyone else is doctor, mummy, like, you are Em as well, you know how it is. It's hard to like have that conversation and not be thinking about the next thing, or like, oh God, I've got to the admin, or if there's been an early pickup, like if there's a half day pickup, I've got to run back to clinic. So I'm thinking, oh, my patient's coming in 10 minutes, I've got to get on with it. Whereas all the mums are congregating and talking about whatever they're doing in the holidays, or sometimes somebody might have baked cookies and they're like handing them around, and like I'm just there like,
don't, because this is the thing I feel guilty about every time.
Yeah. So the mum guilt comes out.
To do this where they do a cake sale.
Yeah.
And all the mums are so good, and they bake cake. I see them coming in with the
I
trays
just buy
that they've
mine.
baked.
I buy mine.
I usually forget.
Just buy them quickly.
So you think I'm really organised?
Do you know what I do? Is I buy them.
I'm the least
organised.
organised.
But then you should do what I do. I buy them, put them into like a pot, like a box, and then take them in. Here's my cake.
Oh, I see.
Cakes.
Well, they've all going to watch this now they know.
Oh, God. Sorry. God. What am I letting myself into? But no, I think the mum pickups and drop-offs, for me, it's like the whole conversation around new friendships again. And if they naturally develop without effort, low effort friendship there, I'm going for it. If I get into that friendship because we're having a laugh or we just gravitate towards each other, fine. I think that for me, honestly, where I am right now in life might change when they get a bit older. Where I am right now in life and all the balls that I'm juggling, I'm just going to struggle with trying to have a mummy friendship. So if you're a mum at the school and you see me just dashing out, it's not personal. Just don't take it personally. I'm just it's all over the place, Got to get my shit together.
You've got a resting beep face.
Yeah, I actually have.
See, I think I have as well, but I don't mean to.
And Pete and Sanj don't. So the thing is, you definitely don't have it. You're smiley.
Gosh, I do, because you know what happens if we're like, say if we're out, and it literally happened yesterday, because we were out having lunch. The second I leave the table, like to go to the loo or something, I'll come back. There'll be like 10 people chatting to Pete, and then I think, oh no, it's because I was sat there looking around angrily. I don't know. I don't mean to be angry.
You're not angry, babe. I think it's just our faces are. We're so full of expression and emotion all day with the kids and with this and with that. And then you finally get a moment, you're like, oh, that's what I do. So if I'm in the car and I'm getting to pick up or something, I don't even realise that my face is probably like.
I honestly think it's because my
Yeah.
brain's ticking over.
And I'm still thinking about other things.
that's
And so I get
exactly it.
it's like autopilot. I get to the gate, I walk to the front to get him, and then I give him a cuddle, a big smile when I'm picking him up, whatever, and then he's going to the playground, and then I'm still thinking, okay, right, that email's got to get sent, I've got to do this, got to check that blood test, I'm doing all of that in my head still.
Yeah.
And a mum's probably looking at me thinking, God, she's just miserable, isn't she? Won't talk to her. Jesus. Won't kill to have a smile, would it, Raj? Really? Would it? In the playground? Today's pickup, we're going to go in like this. Hello, everybody.
Hi. Let's all meet for coffee.
I think when I smile, everyone's like, what? Or if I turn up to a coffee
happened to her?
morning, like, hi, Raj. Do you know anybody here?
Do you go to the coffee mornings?
I've been to a few. The worst bit is when somebody says, you know, da-da-da's mummy. And I'm like, what, 3 years into school? I'm like, who are we talking about? Sorry.
Well, see, again, I've got a great excuse for this because I've got 2 kids in 2 different classes now.
Yeah,
so.
exactly.
I actually am quite on it, I have to say. I think I do know who most people are.
I
Pete's
think you're
a
really
whole
on
nother
it.
Story. I love it. This is the difference I feel like it's between some dads and mums because we showed him the Theo's school photo last year and we were like, how many kids can you name in the class? He looked, I don't even think he named Theo. We couldn't even spot him.
You know,
That
so
was it.
fun. That's hilarious.
Actually, no, I think he named one other child. Yeah, that was that.
Hilarious.
He was like, well, that's it. Do you know, interesting though, I'm going off on a tangent right now. The mums, obviously we have a mum WhatsApp group that we all talk on and like arrange activities and there's no dad's WhatsApp group. I think there might be one. There might be one dad. Do you think dads maybe miss out on the social? Maybe dads need to have like a dad friendship group.
No, I think Sanj has a dad friendship group. They went out for drinks and everything. Yeah, so I think it's school by school. Some do have it.
Maybe dad by dad. Maybe
Dad by dad. Yeah. So we have a Pete's like so yeah. We have a joint like all the parents group, and then we have like a year group, and then we have like a dads only, and then we've got like a little like girls only one as well, which try and make the coffee. So that was the coffee that I probably made it.
So is there like a dad friendship group then?
Yeah.
Oh, I don't know if there is a dad friendship.
I honestly think all these things when it comes to schools and school friendships, as in parent school friendships, I think it's a whole different ball game. And I do think that it varies hugely depending on age, the bunch you've got in the class, like what kind of year group you've got, and I think all that kind of plays into it.
I just wondered if maybe dads missed out on the friendship element because I do think it's quite often the mums, the females that are
definitely
driving the like the play dates and stuff like that. Because I generally tend to make friends with the mums who my kids
play dates,
are close with because obviously then you want them to do play dates and stuff, don't you? But I feel like that's very driven by the mums. Maybe the dads
generally.
Maybe the dads feel a bit left out of the friends. We need to get a dad friendship group going on.
I can't do any more friendship groups, sorry, but
no, but you're not a dad, so you're all right. You don't have to be involved.
I think Sanj, I mean, he's good with being friendly and smiley and hanging out and talking to people. I just find it sometimes a little bit draining when it's new.
Pete's so good at talking. Yeah. He's brilliant. We actually have a standing joke that he is just.
He actually is. If we've all
friendly.
Been out and he gets approached, he's so
friendly.
So friendly.
And the kids stand there like that.
It's hilarious because you're all standing there like that.
Dad's
and he's
Dad's talking again.
Dad's talking.
He loves it.
So lovely.
I feel like he could have 1,000 friends. He just absolutely loves it. He's got energy for friendships. The rest of us are like Dad.
Trying to keep up with the ones we've already
had.
Okay, so how about this one then? Handling disagreements in a friendship. Like how...
Oh, I'm not very good at it.
Say you and I had a disagreement. What would you do?
Okay. I'd love to know what you think about this because my personal feeling is it's okay to like, if someone had done something that like upset me, I might maybe get it off my chest, like to Pete, for example.
Yes.
I don't always feel the need to take it to that person because sometimes it's just like they might have had a bad day or they might have just done something that I feel like I don't need to make a conflict out of that because sometimes it's just done and dust. Do you know what I mean? It's parked.
Yeah.
I would always rather avoid a conflict, which is not always the best thing. But for me personally, conflicts make me feel quite like anxious and worried and uptight. So like if, I don't know, somebody had done something where I thought, oh, that irritates me, I'd probably have a little discussion with Pete about it and then it's off my brain and settled. And then the next time I see them, I wouldn't need to bring it up to them and make a thing out of it. Only if it was a pattern of behaviour that then, I felt like they kept letting me down or something was happening or they were making comments or something like that. I wouldn't generally tend to bring up things all the time if one small thing just slightly bothered me. I would just move on.
I think so. I think that's really a mature and good way to handle it. I think that for me personally, it's changed over the years. So I'd say when I was younger, I was definitely more like feistier, more like everything, not conflict, but everything has to be discussed and talked about and out in the open. I mean, to talk about everything. And I think as you get older, that energy's just not there anymore. Like I still care deeply, but now I'm picking the battles. Like, is there something that I really, really basically, I'm going to vet everything. Am I bothered about this enough to bring it to the table?
Or is it a pattern of behavior?
Or is it a pattern of behavior?
Someone just had a bad moment, or they've done something that,
But if it is a pattern of behavior, probably, and that friend matters to me, and they're like, they're a close friend, I'm going to judge the situation. Do I need to bring this up? This friendship is valuable to me. I don't want to lose this friendship. I don't want my friendship to change with this person. So I'm going to address this. But the way I would address that even like now would be very different to maybe how I would have done that 10, 20 years ago when I was younger. When you're a little bit more, I think, well, when I was probably a little bit more outspoken and like very like, you've done this. Da, da, da. Whereas now I'm kind of like, look, this upset me. This is how I feel about it. I don't want to deep this. I don't want to go into it too much, but I just want you to know that upset me and like this X, Y, Z. But I think and I would only do that if it's a pattern of behavior. Whereas I think if it's something like you said, small, or they were having a bad day, either I would just think about it and go, whether they're having a bad day. I can actually let go of stuff really easily now, which I couldn't do before. So I can let go and go, I don't care. They had a bad day. We'll see how it is next time. It's fine. Give them grace.
That's exactly what
Sometimes though, you might be having a bad day and then your friends had a bad day and then you that clashes. And you might not want conflict or you might not want confrontation. And I've had those moments where I've come away from a bit of a rough day or on my period or something, and it's just like, I didn't like that interaction. Something wasn't right about it. But it's not enough to want to bring it up or talk about it. And then I might go to my husband or another friend or whoever it might be and say, this happened. I just want to get it off my chest. And there's this thing that I always say to Sanj, my husband, about comfort and solutions. So sometimes you're bringing something to the table because you want comfort. So you want to let it off your chest and you want a hug and it's okay, babe. Go and have a nice warm shower, you'll be okay. And sometimes you want a solution, like, okay, I think you should do this.
I'm so stealing this.
Or do that. Yeah. And I always say to Sanj, some days he'll go into a solution. I'm like, I actually don't want a solution right now.
Listen.
And he looks at me, he's like, okay, do you want a hug? I'm like, yeah.
Yeah.
That's what I want. So don't tell me. But sometimes I'm like, I actually want a hug. I want you to tell me what you think I should do in the situation. So I think that's a really nice way to navigate friendships, relationships. For me, I think that really works. But I think over the years, I've become less confrontational, less interested in bringing everything up, less energy for it. I'm just tired. And I also just value sometimes the fact that you have a relationship with somebody that's really special, where you have a great friendship, and is something small or little or petty worth ruining that for? And you could just overlook it and be like, it wasn't all that. But yeah, patterns of behaviour, I agree. If something's happening repetitively and it's upsetting you, you must bring it up. And also, if you have a friendship that you thought was a great friendship and it's repeated behaviour, you should get it off your chest, I think, and say what that issue is. But if it's irreparable, I think you're well within your rights, to be like, well, I just don't think this is working for me. Like we said before, having a boundary. But yeah.
Because I would tend to, I don't know, I just really hate conflict. I would always rather avoid conflict, which is, to be honest with you, not always a good thing, because I think it doesn't necessarily need to be a conflict, but sometimes it's good.
I don't think it's conflict. I think it's more conversation, but sometimes
so I find that quite hard.
Yeah, and different personalities do. So I've got two sisters, and I would say I'm the youngest out of us three. I'm the one that's always up to have a conversation. Like, I will always bring something up that's upset me with them too, because I love them, and I don't, it's never, even if it's something petty, they're my sisters, so I'll be like, well, that annoyed me, and I'll say how I felt. Whereas they might not always be that way inclined. So they might hold it in, or they might not share it. So I think it is about different personalities and how you can be. But definitely, I would say a decade ago, I'd be a lot more like, well, you've really upset me, and be very like,
it might just
forward.
be a maturity thing as well.
And then with maturity, I'm like, yeah, okay. And sometimes my sister will be like, or a friend might say to me, oh, sorry, did that upset you? And I'll be like, actually, well, it's really funny. No, it didn't.
No.
I'm just so over that now.
Maybe it's a brain space thing.
Yeah.
You don't actually have the space in your brain.
Like, I have no space to focus on that. I don't care for that. I just switch off a little bit. So I think it is that. And sometimes I think friendships can... Does this ever happen to you where you think somebody's really, like, focusing on something or thinking that you're really bothered about it, and actually it hasn't even crossed your mind? I'm like, I didn't even think about that. I don't care for it. And they're overthinking.
Persuade them. No, I really didn't care.
I really didn't care.
No,
I really didn't care. Are you sure? Yes, I'm
Seriously,
sure.
I didn't care.
Yeah. What was that all about?
I don't even know. How do we even get into that?
I don't even know. What the hell are we going on about? We just went down a little rabbit hole there.
Basically,
rabbit hole.
What you need to know about me is I just don't argue with anyone.
I don't think that's a good thing though either.
No, it's not. That's what I mean. Because
my life's mission is to make you have an argument with me.
No.
I'm joking. That's never going to happen, is it?
So my friends that I still have now, I would say I haven't argued with any of them.
Have you not?
No.
I don't mean arguing. Have you not had a disagreement with anyone?
Not really, no. Not that I can think
Really?
of. No.
Like where you just said, I don't know, well, that just upset me a little bit, or I felt a bit hurt.
If any of my friends are watching this, they might disagree. I don't think so.
That'll be a disagreement.
Definitely.
The first
That's
one.
first disagreement. Definitely my friend from secondary school that I was mentioning earlier, I don't think we've ever had a disagreement.
Really? That's so interesting to me. As in, look, let's just put it out there. I'm not rowing my friends every third day. But I mean, obviously there are moments in life where I might pick up something or they might say to me, Raj, like one of my uni friends in particular, she won't mind me mentioning her name, Anu. We have a disagreement every third day, but we love each other to bits. But she'll be like, Raji, you've done this, Raji, and my Anu
What
just
have you done?
like you did. I don't even know. Like, but it'll be like little things that we love each other for,
know.
and then we'll meet
Maybe
off
these
camera.
are things
I can't share everything, but off camera. But anyway, no. So we'll meet up, and then she'll be like, "Oh, just come here, and we'll give each other a hug." And it's like a little bit of a habitual part of our relationship, but we love each other to bits, So I think it's like nothing serious, just silly things. Like maybe I didn't answer a call, or the same WhatsApp.
Okay.
Or,
If my friends fell out with me over not answering phone calls and messages, we would be falling out.
That's
every
what
day.
I mean. Yeah.
I know, but I hate that. It's actually the trait about myself that I hate the most. It's the thing I most want to change. Is I just need to get back to.
Well, can you not change that? Because I think that one of the reasons that our friendship works really well,
because
by
we don't
the way,
get back to each other,
and we both understand that. So we'll both be like, "Oh, how many unreads have you got?" We just did it. Just did it
Should we
right
do
now.
it? I bet I've got worse than you. How
Okay,
many
let's do
unread
it. Okay,
WhatsApps have you got?
Shall I tell you? Oh God, it's giving me anxiety.
Oh, Rosh, you're gonna die if you saw my phone.
I'm actually doing quite well at the moment, actually, because I did clear out my inbox on the weekend.
How many unread WhatsApps have you got?
80. Yours is gonna be 300 because you haven't cleared it out, have you?
Actually, 315.
Yeah. So mine was 250 on the weekend, but I had to get through them.
Did
Now
you
I'm at
know
80.
this was coming and you cleared it out? That's terrible.
I actually didn't, but I had. No, sorry, but the one reason that I think
emails.
Oh no. Okay. Do you want no emails? You're now treading the waters, babe. Do you want to know how many unread emails? What Sanj literally says to me, "You're crazy." You ready?
Ooh, the thing is,
Are you ready?
I combine all my email inboxes.
No, do your main one. How many have you got? That's
Okay,
unread?
on my main one only.
Yeah.
What's yours unread?
No, you tell me yours first.
1,470.
I'm going to show you mine. To show it to you.
Yeah, but on all my inboxes together. Okay, we're just going to say this number. Is that your main one?
Yeah.
Okay, all my inboxes combined is 51,500 unread. I thought that was terrible.
All of mine combined, all inboxes is that one.
137,081. I've never met anyone with more than me.
Yeah, I know.
However, I've also got 336 voicemails.
Oh yeah, let's not go into that because then it's going to give me anxiety. But can I just say that I think that one of the reasons our friendship works so well is that
don't reply to each
we don't reply to each other, but then when we need to, we just know we're going to, right? So when we're prepping for something or whatever, we ignore everything beforehand. I'll have these long messages from you, and you'll have long ones from me, all about, oh, I'm here for you to, and then we'll be like, so what time are we meeting tomorrow then? Do you want me to grab you some prep?
Yeah, that's it.
A coffee? I'm meeting you there. Are you going to go? It's like such a weird relationship. I love it. You get me and I get you.
The thing is I think you think I'm really organised. And so there are certain things I am very organised. Okay, I'm very like a lot about routine, especially at home, like with the kids and stuff like that. Routine's very important to me. And there are certain things I will be really organised.
Mm-hmm.
And then you look at my email inbox. You look at my WhatsApps.
Yeah.
The school chat, I am terrible. Sometimes on the school chat, there's like 50 messages there in the day.
Not going to school chat.
And I haven't seen them. So I missed the flipping cake sale. And
also, you'll feel this as well, the school chat WhatsApps for the different schools and the different...
Yes. Different, all the clubs that they're at.
Yeah, I know.
This is the one good thing actually with Millie going to secondary school now. I mean, there's a million WhatsApp chats, but all her activities are at school.
Yeah, I love that.
I'm not driving her
love
around.
that.
It's
That's
actually
the best thing.
brilliant.
That's the best thing.
The weird thing about secondary school as well, which you might find, I don't know if your kids will go from the same primary school up to secondary school, but because she moved, at secondary school, you don't even get out the car.
Yeah, there's like kiss and drop and kiss and pick up, isn't there, or something?
Yeah, so the nice thing about her school, because she has sports on a Saturday, I do get to meet the mums at sports. But if it wasn't for that, you would literally, I don't think you'd ever meet another parent. You just, you just don't.
It's not a bad
see
thing,
each
is
other.
it?
Well, so the weird thing about it, when you know other parents, you kind of get a bit of an insight, I think, into your child's. I don't know. You
You do need to, like jokes aside, it is important.
You know who their friends are more. Like,
people are gonna think I'm crazy on here. Like, jokes aside, guys, it is important to interact, I think.
so
And,
I like to have names to faces, like especially for their friends. So like when Millie comes home, she's like, "Oh, you won't believe what happened with this person, or this happened with that," and I know who the
she's
girls
talking
are
about,
because I've been and I've watched them play sport. So.
Yeah.
I love that because I can be like, oh yeah, I know her, or I remember her mum. Or
But weirdly enough,
I like that.
Weirdly enough, I feel like I do that. I'm really fixated on that. So, for example, my little boy, all his friends, I know them. I know what they look like. I actually, if I go to the playground,
really important
I'll
to
talk to
me.
them. So I'll be like, you know, if this person's like said person, I'll call them by their name. Be like, how was your day? If I'm doing pickup. But then I'm just really bad with the parents. So it's like I'm not bad with the kids. I'm bad. You need to get better at that, I think.
Yeah, but do you know what? I think that's important because this is what my mum and dad always used to say to me. You've got to be involved in your kids' lives. Know who their friends are.
Yeah.
Know what
really
what they enjoy, what's going on, because that's how if you're like involved in your life, that's how they will trust you,
gravitate towards you, want to know. Yeah,
that keeps your relationship really strong. So I actually love knowing who.
So there we go. We need to just make
not in a
more
controlling way.
Yeah, not in a weird control.
Not in a weird way. No. Do you know what it partly is for me with the WhatsApp thing and the email thing?
Yeah.
I have this real thing about people being on phones, and especially when I'm with the kids.
Yeah.
I really I will literally sometimes even turn my phone off, but I will have it on the other side of the room, or I'll leave it. Sometimes I will literally leave my phone in the kitchen, and it might be like 3 or 4 hours.
Yeah.
And I will not look at it because I just feel like when I'm with the kids, I do not just want to be like that the whole time.
Well, I'm never when I'm with the kids, I'm never like that. So there's a point for when I do pick up. So the drive home, blah, 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 and then when I get into the door, I don't. My phone's even if I wanted to be on my phone, which by the way I don't want to be because I'm like now work's done for a few hours at least. So from like 5:30 to like 9 p.m, my phone.
Sometimes I don't even know where it is.
Anything that's gone out in that time, even on social media, it's all been scheduled. It's all, if it's work stuff. I'm not doing any work during that time unless I'm out for dinner or I'm somewhere, but I'm not with the kids on that particular day. Otherwise, the phone's away. So that's when the WhatsApp stack up because people are writing to you, towards the end of the day.
And then you come to it and there's like 30.
Yeah, and then it's like midnight. You're like, I'm not replying to this now. I'll do it
in the morning.
Yeah, and then you
then
don't.
By the morning, you've got another 50. That is exactly what happens. I remember once I woke up, there was 150 on the school chat.
I remember that we bonded the first time we met because we both had like 200 unread WhatsApps each, and we're like, oh. Now we're gonna be friends.
Of our friendship. So I do feel like it comes from a good place, which is that I try very hard, consciously, not to be on my phone. So apologies.
Not just ignoring people.
It's not an excuse. It's actually not an excuse. I am sorry, everybody. Pete goes mental.
Okay, things we wish someone had told us, Emily.
Hit me.
I've got one. I wish that I'd known earlier in my life that strong friendships are actually good for your health, and there's research to back that. So. Friendships equal good health, not just social life. So strong friendships are linked to a lower risk of depression, high blood pressure, and even longer life.
Love that.
And loneliness contributes to over 870,000 deaths per year globally.
Is that right?
That's from the World Health Organization. Yeah.
I think of that particularly of like the elderly.
Yeah.
That always breaks my heart. I think of people who live alone, and it's something you really take for granted when you have, I grew up with a massive family, and I've now got a massive family, and our door is constantly opening and closing. There's always someone coming in and out. And I think, especially around times like Christmas and things like that,
loneliness.
People who don't have anybody.
And I feel like it's so important to realise as well that friendship, like we know they're good for your health, and that, the elderly, they are more vulnerable to it, but also friendships that are not just digital, but like, like human connection. Like seeing a friend for a coffee, like not just doing a FaceTime. I know it's not possible all the time. Your friend's long distance or, you can't see each other. Of course, pick the phone up. But if you can see somebody face to face and have that human interaction, it can really be great for your well-being.
Well, look at COVID.
Yeah.
Okay, that was a prime example that obviously we're all connected through phones or whatever, social media, but actually it's not sociable.
No.
It's not, people were so lonely in COVID because everyone missed that human to human contact. It can't be replaced by phones.
No. A little cuddle and a little hug,
Yeah.
There you go. What do you wish someone had told you then?
I think you stole all the good ones, love. So doctor's orders that we actually break.
Mm-hmm.
This is an interesting one because I think what we would be advised to do is like be open and honest in friendships. And I would actually say I always try to be honest and open. I definitely would never lie to someone or anything like that. But I think if there was maybe a conflict or something, I don't think I always would be able to be open about that. I'm talking about more about like when I was a teenager.
Yeah.
Now I think I'm better, but because I think I was so worried about upsetting someone and then finding the conflict so difficult that I probably would just rather avoid. I maybe would like bury my head in the sand, and I actually don't think that's a very good thing to do.
No, but I think it's you've recognised that that's something you were doing when you were younger, and now you're sort of growing into that. And I think that's really important that you do see that, because I think you're definitely somebody, like, since I've known you, and I'm obviously a newer friend, I would say that you are very open and you do talk about your feelings and emotions, and you're quite firm, but not like not in an
You think
upsetting.
I'm firm?
No, not in an
Great.
upsetting way. I knew you were going to
'Cause
say.
I wouldn't say
yeah.
that I am. So
I
that's
think you're
good.
firm in the sense that, like, you know where where someone stands with you, and I think that's a really nice place to be on both sides of a friendship, because it's important. And coming off the back of that, I'm going to quickly say my doctor's order that I break, because I think this is really important. I now do this, but I used to break this all the time. I would fail to set boundaries early. So with me, I'd go all in, head over heels in every friendship. And I don't think it was until I met my husband who'd kind of be like, are you sure this person has your best interests at heart? Or do you think you're doing a bit too much here? Or do you think you're giving a bit too much here and not getting much back? You know, now I'm very clear about what my boundaries are. So whether somebody's giving in or not giving in, I'm clear about where I am with a friendship. And I don't, like, you know, openly flood doors open. Everybody just, you know, take. It's very like, and I mean emotionally by that, you know, I'm now like, okay, that's fine, but this is my boundary. And that's kind of comes back into the WhatsApps and the whatever. So if I can't reply to a WhatsApp, and I can't, even if I've got a friend that's a bit upset with me about that, when I see her, I'll say, look, I'm really sorry, didn't do that. And we'll just pick up where we left off. But I'm not going to cross that boundary out of fear of upsetting somebody. Because you just got to do what you got to do.
Interesting point you just came up with as well. It just reminded me of something. I've definitely got better at recognising my own faults and apologising as I've got older. So when I was younger, I was quite, my mum would say this, really defensive.
Yeah.
And I was like quite stubborn.
Yeah.
Even if I knew I was in the wrong, I would kind of just keep. But Pete was the one who's actually, because he's very good at apologising. Like if you know, we're really lucky we don't argue, but if we'd had a discussion about something, or if he'd done something, he would be the first person, even to the kids, like if he felt he handled a situation, he should have handled it differently. He'll say, oh, look, sorry about that, guys. I didn't.
Yeah, Pete is like that.
He's very good like that. And actually through watching that, I've learnt, and I'm loads better now.
Yeah.
And WhatsApps is what made me think of it. I just apologise. People say, I'm so sorry.
Yeah.
I really didn't mean. It's not that I didn't want to reply to you. It's not that, you know, I didn't have time. I just genuinely didn't see it.
Yeah.
I was busy, and that's, you know.
Or I saw it and I forgot, and I always say that's the truth of it.
I'm really sorry.
And being honest like that and opening up, it's not a weakness. It's actually a strength, I think. Really quickly, listener question. So this is a good one. So I think we've got two, but I'm going to pick one, if you're happy for me to, Emily. Is it okay to distance yourself from a friend without explaining everything, or do you always owe them a conversation? I love this question.
Oh, Raj,
I want to know your opinion on this genuinely as a friend as well. So please enlighten me.
Right, I'm conflicted over this because would I be the person to just distance myself and not say anything? Yes, I would, because I'm avoiding conflict. Again, is that the right thing to do? Probably not.
Are you just avoiding conflict because you don't want to upset somebody? Or question, are you also avoiding conflict because you don't want to open that kind of worms yourself and go into it?
I just find it really hard having arguments with people. It just makes me feel really unsettled.
Do you worry that it's going to, like, not every conversation is an argument, so do you worry that it's going to just escalate into that?
Yeah, maybe.
Yeah, because I've noticed that you said a lot, like, I don't want to get into an argument, but actually having a conversation is not always that. I feel that I'm that person, and that's quite shocking.
You would have the conversation?
No, and a lot of people think I would have it because I'm quite open and I talk.
Yeah, I would have thought you
but
would.
if I've been really hurt by a friendship, and this has happened to me in the past, where I have actually been friends with somebody, and then I've realised through lots of different actions that person does not have my best interests at heart, I actually haven't approached them. I've just distanced myself. And I think that's come because I've realised that I'm protecting my energy more than theirs. Like, you know, it sounds really selfish, but I'm just got to a point where I'm like, this is my boundary. I don't want to go into that. You've given me enough for me to see that this is how you are. I don't need to question that. I'm not on the fence with it. I can clearly see you do not care about me, and that you've gone out of your way to show that. So actually, do I need to go and address that now? Or do I just don't want a conflict? I don't even want to do this or any of that. I just want to walk away without the drama and get back into my little hole and do my life and get on with it.
And that's me as well. So if we ever just stop replying to each other ever,
we know what's happened.
We've just then again we do that anyway.
We have to get the boys involved. Just want comfort, not solutions.
Do you know what? This is one final thing to bring up. Because
Yeah.
I do think this is an interesting point. Having grown up with brothers
Yeah.
and having some good like male friends when I was at school, it's really interesting how, in my own experience, and I know this is a generalization, men, boys, whatever, do approach friendships very differently.
And handle them
Sometimes,
differently. And
sometimes.
handle conflict differently.
Very differently.
Yeah. And actually can, most times, have a conversation, not having a falling out, not have an argument, move on.
Yeah,
And the boys again, next week they're coming around again for a beer and what I'm just thinking, were you guys not falling out last week?
Yeah.
And I'm thinking, that was a girl. That was a girl. Sandra's good. I was like, that was a girl. We'd still be discussing week 4 of what's the episode 4 of what's happened in the saga of X and Y, And then she said this, and then do you know what? She looked at me like this, and then we walked into the room and we looked at each other and we just thought,
no, she didn't.
when actually nobody was doing any of that, really, were they? Yeah. I love it. Thank you guys for watching this episode. We hope you enjoyed it. Don't forget to give us other topics that you'd like us to include in the comment section, and don't forget to like and follow.